there is some news, and maybe this is part of the reason why the Niners are 3.5-point underdogs. Trent Williams' status is really murky. I didn't see him get injured during the game. Maybe you did. After the game, leaving as we were waiting in the post-game press area, he limped out. Didn't limp out, excuse me. Crutches. No weight on the right foot, crutches wrapped up. And then yesterday on the conference call, Kyle was kind of blase about it. Like, yeah, ankle. Well, we don't really know that much about it. It's kind of like Jordan Willis's, and everyone was like, whoa. Kind of like Jordan Willis's. Last week you said Jordan Willis had a high ankle sprain. He was like, well, yeah, we thought so at first, but then as the week went on, we realized we were wrong. And so he's basically saying, like, we have no idea what Trent Williams' ankle injury is, and we'll probably know by the end of the week. That's not great. Not bad, but not great.
The good news is that they did beat the Rams last time without Trent Williams, and they needed that win. True. If they didn't do that, none of this would all be happening because they would have been out of the playoffs. So
that is certainly true.
They have that going for them.
So what we're trying to say is that Trent Williams is horribly overrated.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying it can be done. It's not impossible. It's not impossible, and the Niners know it's not impossible because they've done it before. So they have a plan for it. I guess the bad news would be the Rams have seen that plan, so they can construct a way to take advantage of that plan if the Niners can't execute it again.
I guess the only other thing would be like, yeah, they did win against the Rams, and it felt like a playoff game because it was the last game of the season, winner, go home. But this is really a playoff game. It's the NFC Championship game, and now you got Colton McKivitz back in there. He did well the first time. I mean, Daniel Brunskill does well against the Rams, but it's kind of scary. I mean, the Niners are paying all this money for Trent Williams to be there in the NFC Championship game, and he is struggling right now, whether it's ankle, elbow, limping to the finish.
I think, well, let's see if he plays before we I will say this. I think it doesn't really change much of the 49ers plan, which is they need to run the football. That's their best pass protector is Elijah Mitchell and running the football. So if they can't do that, then, Trent Williams not being there really becomes a problem. I think Trent Williams obviously is excellent in the run game. We saw it last week. We see it every week. He's a difference there. However, they can get by without him. It's more difficult, but they can do it.
Doesn't it seem like really all their offensive linemen are good run blockers? Like obviously Trent Williams is the best by far, of course, but all their offensive linemen are good run blockers, and I'm sure Colton McKivitz can do the Niners run game just fine. It's the pass protection that's the issue, but really none of the Niners offensive linemen are good in pass protection except for Trent Williams, and having it helps having a good left tackle, but the other four guys being subpar, you see the effect on Jimmy Garoppolo in the offense every week. So Trent Williams is great, but I always have kind of questioned his impact and value on the offense. Like you didn't really notice that he didn't play against the Rams a couple of weeks ago. Didn't notice.
Yeah,
I mean, there might have been a couple of plays where Colton McKivitz got exposed in pass protection, but it probably was one or two plays.
I guess you maybe want to look at if it'd be interesting. I don't know in what world you'd have to do it in some sort of alternate dimension where the Niners don't have Trent Williams, and I think ultimately they would have accumulated more sacks, and they would have had more sack fumbles and all that stuff because that blind side wouldn't be protected. I don't know that you can necessarily look at one moment or one instance where a left tackle is going to make a difference. I think it's a cumulative effect throughout an entire season, and then in moments where you can eliminate or really help control a superior edge guy. The Rams, I know Von Miller is good, but he's not the Von Miller of old. So the Rams' best pass rusher, I don't know, is Aaron Donald, and most of the time, Trent Williams is not going to be on Aaron Donald. Aaron Donald's not going to be on Trent Williams.
So,
he's going
all right,
Daddy Brunskill.
That's true. I mean, look, it's up to you how concerned you want to be about Trent Williams' potential absence. It's good to know that the Niners won without him last time against the Rams, but you got to know that this is a story to monitor throughout the week. The Niners basically, Kyle said yesterday, he has no idea. They got good news. Basically, last week they were in the same situation with Jordan Willis. They didn't know if it was a high ankle sprain or a low ankle sprain. They couldn't tell because there were some old injuries in there that were kind of messing up the MRI or whatever. And by the end of the week, they realized it was just a low ankle sprain and he was cool. They're hoping they get the same good news with Trent Williams this week, but they don't know. And it could go either way.
Yeah, it's interesting.
And if it's a high ankle sprain, this is probably more than just the NFC Championship game if the Niners win. Just saying. Yeah.
It's an interesting conversation because it feels a little bit like deja vu, like last week, the conversation we had about Nick Bosa and Nick Bosa's impact on this game. Looking back at it, we had said they could win this game without Nick Bosa. I thought Nick Bosa would have more of an impact than you did, or was more important a little bit than you did. However, I agreed that they could win it. It would just be more difficult. But I think looking back at this game, I don't know if they win Saturday without Nick Bosa. Yeah, he had 2 sacks. He had a sack, a forced fumble. Could we be having this conversation next week and be like, Von Miller goes off and Trent Williams isn't playing? We're like, well, Trent Williams' absence did have a huge impact on the game.
You're right. You're probably right. And you're probably right. Before we move on, I just want to say that it's true that the Niners couldn't have won without Bosa last week, and he was great. The defense was great, but it still took an act of God for the Niners to win.
Yeah.
An action. We talk about the Music City miracle. That was a miracle. That was a miracle. Right. I don't know who blocked that punt, and then it was just chilling on the ground, and no one knew where it was. I've never seen anything like that. That was a miracle. God was like, hold on, this game is boring. Let me spice this up. So shout out to God for that one.
Yeah. Absolutely. Shout out.